All right, guys. So if you remember from a couple of weeks ago when we celebrated our 2-year anniversary of CB&A, I posted a video in our Facebook group, and I said that we were going to be looking at exploring different ways to help you win more business and make more money. Well, I'm excited today to introduce the first step of that. We've got a couple of other things in the works for you over the next couple of months, but the first step of that is a partnership with Happy Grasshopper. And I've been a big fan of Happy Grasshopper, and particularly Dan Stewart, their founder, who you're going to meet in a second, for a long time. One of the guys that I've followed in the industry for a very long time. In fact, if you've taken a class from me, you have probably heard me talk about Happy Grasshopper at some point or another. And so we are excited to be helping them launch a new product that they have called Chirp. Chirp is going to help you communicate directly to your past clients and your sphere of influence. And I'm going to stop selling what Dan's supposed to be selling and introduce Dan to you. So everybody welcome Dan Stewart from Happy Grasshopper.
Thanks for that introduction, Chance. Really appreciate it. And I'm so excited to be here. This is so much fun to be rolling out what we've been working on for literally a decade. So, for those of you who may never have heard of Happy Grasshopper, my job has been to start the conversation that lead to sales opportunities for real estate professionals. And today we're debuting with you guys something we've been working on for literally a decade. So we have boiled down all the things that we've seen work across hundreds of millions of messages delivered and put them in one package with the CB&A logo all over it for you. So I'm going to share my screen here. We're going to take a look at how you guys can tap into this goodness. So let's do this. First thing I'm going to share is actually a PowerPoint deck. We'll get back to that application here in just a moment. So Chance, I want to make sure, are you seeing the right screen here? Are you just seeing one slide, or are you seeing a whole bunch?
Just one slide.
Okay.
Getting started.
Awesome. Getting started. And that's what we're doing. And the place to start is to figure out what kind of opportunity actually exists for you. So let's just do a little math. Let's figure out how much money is hiding in your database right now. So I know from all the agents we've served over the years that the typical agent has less than 200 people in their database that actually know who they are, right? These people are your past clients, they're your sphere of influence, they're the vendors that you work with on a regular basis, they can even be other agents. So this is the group of people that we're focusing on here. It's people who know you. And for those people, there are between 2 and 12 transactions per year for every 100 contacts that you have in your database, right? So think about that. The average commission per side, according to NAR, is about $6,000. And I happen to know the Houston market pretty well. In some parts of Houston, that's right. And in others, that's a fraction of what the average commission can be. So, you guys need to take a moment and just figure out, well, gosh, if I have a couple hundred people in my database and I were to communicate with them on a regular basis, like Dan is teaching me to do, how much more money can I actually earn, right? Now, I understand that because you sell real estate, you have every shiny object vendor on the planet pointing stuff at you. Like, as a vendor, I want to apologize for that. There's a lot of things out there that just don't work. And Happy Grasshopper absolutely works. And Chirp is the very best parts of Happy Grasshopper. So, I'm going to show you a few examples here. The guy on the left is named Ed Sutton. He's been our member since 2014. He tells us he averages 17 to 30 transactions per year directly from the messaging that we send for him in his account. In the middle, we have Renee Meniscus, and she increased her GCI by over $100,000 with us from not using us to using us in her first year. And then here on the right, we've got Andrew Pykoff, who's actually local to Houston with a different brokerage. We sent one message and he got a massive listing from that. And then, of course, right here, your very own Randall Martin. I mean, look how awesome this is, guys. He sent one of our messages, a message I'll show you here in a little while. And, almost right away, he gets this opportunity that's, both sides of the transaction, talking about between 1.5 to 2 million turnarounds there. And,
so we've been beta testing this with the Junto group. So Randall sent one email, 4 potential transactions for $2 million. I'm doing simple math, and that's one email, and he's going to make about 60 grand.
Yeah, that's kind of
Not
awesome.
a bad day.
Not a bad day at all. And actually, I'm realizing I have these slides out of order. This should be the first one, right? Explaining he's in the Junto group. And then that's the result that came from it. So look
And
here,
Randall's
within
been a Happy Grasshopper customer for a really long time.
yeah, yeah. And within this 90 minutes of sending the message, he gets this opportunity. So, you know, the goal for today is to show you how you can get results like these other people are, right? And just to kind of, again, anchor the point, this is not something we're just starting to figure out. It's something we've been focused on at Happy Grasshopper for 10 years. And it really benefits from everything I've learned as an entrepreneur over 2 decades and 7 companies. So, you know, this stuff on the screen is not meant to impress you. It's just meant to impress upon you that you should have a reasonable expectation that if you follow my advice, you will get great results. That will happen. Today, we have about 10,000 members at Happy Grasshopper. We're nurturing about 16 million contacts with email, averaging a 38.6% open rate. And the average ROI across all of our members is 847%.
So can we go back to that open rate for a second?
Yep, let's do it.
That open rate, I'm just sending out a MailChimp, or I'm sending out a this or that or whatever that looks like. If I can get 5%, I'm feeling pretty good about myself, right?
Yeah. Constant Contact actually reports their open rate for real estate at 14%. Okay. And, you know, we're more than double that because of the strategies that I'll teach you about here in a moment. And just a word on the ROI, right? Because, I mean, that's a big number. That's a lot to claim. Okay. So that means if you hand $1 to me, I should hand you back $8.47. And that sounds kind of crazy. Like, I get it. And yet I've also just shown you an example with Randall Martin where, you know, if we look at his ROI, if he handed me $1 and he gets those 60,000 commission dollars handed back to him, that's a $123 per dollar return. That's 12,300% ROI, right? So seriously, no matter where you are in your career, whether you're one of the like hardened industry vets who's got it all on lockdown, or you're a newer agent that's starting to figure it out, I promise you that the fastest path to getting to your goals is paved through the relationships you have with other people. It's by staying in touch with those people that the opportunity comes to the forward for you. And, you know, that sounds wonderful, right? That's all great. It's well and good. You certainly know people refer you because you've done a great job for them. But there's a challenge that you have to overcome in order to be able to take advantage of that. And that challenge consists of 2 parts. The first is organization, and the second is framework, okay? So let's just acknowledge the organization part is kind of a bitter pill. I get it. Your contacts get spread out all over the place. You get duplicate contacts. You get misspelled, miscapitalizations. You've got all sorts of issues with database organization. And, you know, if you're at all human, you've tried to work on this before and you've ended up frustrated. So, you know, what my goal is to make this as simple as possible for everyone. So let's tackle organization right now, just make it easy. So first thing we need to recognize is that there are only 2 kinds of people on planet Earth. That's it. They either know us or they don't, period, right? So think of it, your brand new leads, they have no idea who you are. Your past clients in Sphere absolutely know who you are. So when you're loading your contacts into Chirp, I want you to ask yourself, does this person know me? If the answer is no, or the answer is maybe, they shouldn't go in the system. So this isn't a race to have the most contacts. If you have 25 contacts, you've got more than you need, right? If you have 100 contacts, you have more than you need. If you have 250 contacts, that's actually the maximum we'll let you load into Chirp. This is designed to be really personal communication with people you know, and it gets a very high response rate. So, you know, as we're organizing, we recognize you've got your contacts in lots of different places. And Chirp integrates with practically everything. So no matter where they are, we can help you get it out and do it in an organized, systematic way. So, you know, let's imagine that now we've got these contacts in the system It's time to figure out what to say to them. And that's where you need a framework. So the framework that we've laid out and made just super easy for you consists of 29 to 41 touches per year, right? Now, there are 17 of those that are strictly email, and not just regular email, right? This is non-salesy email. That's what worked for Randall. That's what works for all of our members. I'll show you content and you'll understand why it works so well. But as strong as email is, it's not enough. We also have to send text messages per year. There are 6 that are standard, and then you have an option of adding up to 6 more. And those are related to holidays. So the first 6, we have their birthday and their transaction anniversary. That covers 2 of them. And then we have quarterly messaging that's designed to create a conversation. So that's where you're either asking for help, you're offering help, you're saying you were out in their area and we're thinking about them. I'll show you all this content in a moment. Now, at the same sequence here, the same frequency, we're also going to be sending 6 to 12 voicemail drops. And if you have not used a voicemail drop, you are missing out. These are absolutely amazing because it's not like you're calling someone and they pick up and they hear your recorded voice. It actually just goes straight to their voicemail on their phone. It looks like they missed a call from you. They could read the message if they want, and then when they click play, they hear your voice. And some of my favorite personal messages to leave are holiday messages. Thanksgiving is my holiday. I love it. We always host. We cook a giant spread for all our friends and family. And I love to send a Thanksgiving message to people that just goes a little something like, hey, it's me, Dan. Hope you guys are doing great. Personally, I've got a lot to be thankful for, and that includes you. So go eat some turkey. Let's touch base next week. Take care, guys. Bye. Like a simple, short message like that makes perfect sense for people who know you and is also completely inappropriate for leads. That's why we don't let people who don't know you into this system, right? Now I'm going to give you some examples of different types of messaging that we see today. And the first place we're going to start is in email, right? So, if we take a look at messaging in our inboxes, we get a lot of this sort of messaging every day. This is your classic HTML email. And, the brand might like it because it gets their brand out there, but the reader just says, oh, this is marketing. It's safe to ignore. So it's a little strange, right? Because if you Googled it right now, you'd see email marketing gets the highest ROI of any form of marketing. What they're not telling you is that that's for brands outside real estate. For example, this is Outback Steakhouse's Mother's Day message, right? Mom wants steak. And with a click of the mouse, you can buy mom a gift card and they'll deliver it to her. They'll sell millions of dollars of gift cards with this approach. And yet nobody is going to download a house, right? Nobody's going to buy a house with a click. So if you're going to penetrate, you got to send personal messaging. There's so many upsides to that. First, you get to avoid stuff like this, right? You don't have to worry about filters, and you don't have to worry about trying to be a designer and creating your own relevant art projects. Like, this is in my personal wall of shame. This is one of the worst email messages I've ever received from a real estate agent. And, when I thought about it, I thought, well, gosh, this is someone who's probably actually really trying. They heard, don't talk about real estate all the time. So it's Valentine's Day. I'll send a Valentine's message. I'll take a door and I'll put some hearts on it. That'll be awesome. And, they're probably also in a class where they learn, hey, if you want more referrals, what do? Ask for them, right? So that's what they're doing in this message. And, the sad part is this is someone who's trying really hard to find success, and they never will with this approach. It's just the wrong way to get it done. So what we have to do to win in the inbox is to start by breaking their pattern, right? So I showed you what Outback did on Mother's Day. I'll show you sort of the Happy Grasshopper approach. So first thing you'll notice is that this appears like Jennifer sat down to write a message, right? It's not designed to look like an art project. It's designed to look like personal communication because that's what people pay attention to. And the message says, hi, Gus. We all know Sunday is Mother's Day, although I'd never heard how they celebrate in Serbia. Have you? Children sneak into mom's bedroom and tie her feet together with string, and then it gets worse. She has to negotiate her release by giving her kids presents. Crazy, right? There's not much in it for mom, so at least she gets to lie down for a little while. Anyway, hope you have a fantastic weekend. Let me know if you need help with anything. Have a great Friday, Jennifer. Okay, so that is a warm, relevant to the time it's sent, non-salesy email. That email shows that you care enough to keep in touch without having a sales agenda. That is a critical part of your communication flow. You must demonstrate that you care more about them than you do about their money, right? Very, very important. So within the library of messaging, you'll see messages like this one. Subject line reads, Finca Palmolera, and it says, hi, Dan. Just saw that Starbucks is offering a $7 cup of coffee, and no, it doesn't come with a sandwich. It's called the Costa Rica Finca Palmolera, and it's just a really, really expensive cup of coffee. Bet you didn't know what that was in the subject line, right? Anyway, if you'd like to join me for a cup, let me know. It'd be great to see you. So this is what we call an appointment setting message. And here are the results from sending that for Brian. Massive open rate. 52%, I think most of you would be like, oh my God, I can't believe that many people opened it. When just last week, we had a brand new customer, Kim Sheldneck, sent their first message with our system and had an 81% open rate. So it's possible to get these outstanding rates when you send better content. Now, what did Brian do with these replies? He turned them into appointment generating opportunities. He went out on those coffee appointments. He sat down with people and he said things like, I could really use some help. Do you know anyone at all in your neighborhood who would move if we got them enough money for their home? Right? He's using that opportunity to generate referrals for himself. So this whole approach, it's laid out. We make it simple for you in our system. And of course, we provide the help that you need to make it all work. So anytime you're stuck, anytime you need help, you can always reach out to us at Happy Grasshopper. I'll give you the contact info for that in a moment. Right now, it's time to focus on what you need to do to get started. So step one is super easy. All you have to do is check your email. We have sent your account credentials to you. You just click the link. It's going to open up your new account. You'll be inside it in just moments. And then once you're there, all you have to do is follow the prompts. So to get your account set up, it takes about 15 minutes. And during those 15 minutes, you're going to configure your email signature. You'll pick out your text message phone number. You'll record your voicemail drops, and you'll be ready to send your first message. So it's very simple to do that, very simple to get started. So that's the third step. Send that first message. You'll get it out there. And then your expectation should be that every time you send, you're going to get replies, right? So think about that. If you send a message, you want to be there to respond to those replies, particularly for text, right? I can send the email out automatically for you. That's fine. People will reply when they reply. It works great. Your text message, you have to trigger that to go out, because the moment you do, you're going to start getting replies from people, okay? So again, our staff is standing by to help you. If you're stuck at all, just drop an email to support@happygrasshopper.com and we'll take care of you there. Now, I'm going to jump out of the screen share. We're going to jump into your actual account. So are we showing the application now on the screen there, Chance?
We are.
Okay, all right. So when you log in, you'll see your logos here at the top. It defaults to the dashboard screen, which when you first set up your account, you're not going to see any data here because you haven't loaded contacts or sent any messaging. So over time, that data will populate. Now, once every 3 weeks throughout the year, we're going to remind you it's time to send a message. We'll send you an email, and it will take you to this section inside your account. So this is where you'll see the messaging that we've written for you that's ready for delivery. So I'm going to show you the message that Randall sent. It's this one here called Blockbuster Finally Pivots. So it reads, did you see this? Blockbuster's last store is now an Airbnb rental. Ha! They've set it up with 90s furniture, TV, VCR, and all the movies you can watch for $4 per night. And call me crazy, but I actually love this. It kind of makes me wish they'd paid more attention to Netflix and pivoted sooner, right? So I'm going to pause right there. To this point, all we've done is share something that's interesting. It's the kind of what's going on now thing that people like to talk about. Here at the close, we turn the conversation to real estate. Speaking of real estate changes, do you know anyone who's thinking of moving, or even someone we could convince to move if they got enough money for their home, right? If we pulled up Randall's reply on the screen right now, what you would see is that the person who wrote back to him said, "Your last sentence got me." That's how she opens the email to him to go on to explain that they need to have some transactions. So pro tip would be read these messages. You have the opportunity to rate each of them. We want to know your personal preferences. And then I suggest that you send the one that you like the best. Like whichever one makes you smile the most is the one you should send, because the people who like you will probably like that message as well.
And
yes.
What we know is if it doesn't sound like you, send it anyway.
I love it. I love it.
That's one of the things is this doesn't sound like something I would send. Send it anyways. Trust us.
I love that. One of the neatest things about this whole process is we measure everything. Like sometimes we'll have a message that is poorly rated by our members. It gets 1 heart. Nobody liked it. But the people who did like it and sent it got the best open rates. They got the highest reply rate. So anything that you see in here is only here because we believe it will work based on all the experience of measuring all those messages. So these are always going to be safe to send for you. I just personally, when I use the system, I always like to send the one I like the best. And for me in this cycle right now, it's going to be this Zollipops message. I love this story because it's about a teenage entrepreneur who started a company that's generating millions of dollars in revenue while she's in high school. It's just a super cool story. So again, this is easy to start. You're going to have the links in your inbox. So just check that. You can get logged into your account, and we're going to prompt you to go through a few steps. One of them is setting up your phone number here in the text message area. So in this area is where you'll choose your phone number. You just click select new, pop in your area code, we'll assign a number to you, and then it'll be easy for you to choose one of the text messages from the library here. The birthday and transaction anniversary messages, those will go out automatically, right? So as long as we know when the birthday of your contacts are, those messages will go out. Next thing we'll look at here is voicemail drops. We're going to prompt you to record messages like this one when you're setting up your account. So, hey, it's me, Dan Stewart, just saying happy birthday. I hope I'm the first one to tell you that this year. And gosh, I hope you're doing something fun. So let's catch up soon, all right? Call me, bye. So if you read word for word that's what's on the screen, you'll notice I didn't say what was word for word. Like, I want you to make this organic. I want it to sound like you. Feel free to use this as a guide and make these messages your own. And pro tip here is not to use their name in the message. Remember, you're recording the message once. It's going to get sent to everybody. So that's a pretty quick look here around the application. Again, my staff is standing by. If you need help, just reach out to us at support@happygrasshopper.com. One last thing I'll mention is that OMG, this is not an expensive service for you to use. It's actually costs less than $2 per contact per year. So as you get things entered and set up here, our system will show you exactly what the pricing is. It'll prompt you to enter your payment information and you'll be off and running. So super, super easy. Everything we do at Happy Grasshopper is guaranteed. You have a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. So there's absolutely nothing to use in using our service. And I mean, who knows? Wouldn't you'd just be kicking yourself if you missed out on those 4 transactions like Randall might have if he didn't send that message. You know, people.
For $2, that's the ROI on it.
Yeah, kind of ridiculous, kind of crazy.
So check your email, because Happy Grasshopper is going to be sending you an email, and get this going. It's going to give you the opportunity to win a lot more business, make a lot more money. Dan, thank you so much. We're excited about this partnership and looking forward to great things.
Yeah, super happy. Thanks, Chance.
You too.
Bye.
All right.